Hey guys, this is Brad. Today we're going to do a no cam stream. It's good to be back. I had a little bit of a break on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and now I'm back. It's Sunday, and I just wanted to get a couple things knocked out going into the beginning of the week. Specifically, I'm going to do a couple of changes to attract mode. If you joined us last week, you saw us working on attract mode. Also, going to add a special in. So right now, the way we're going to do a special is by default, you will, when you either start a new game or continue, you'll get three specials. And we have some things we want to do to modify the specials in the future, but for now, we're going to just start with the specials will exist as you start the game or continue. So I want to update that, and then I also definitely want to just continue doing code cleanup. So I'm going to continue doing that as I move on here. The goal for the special is to be done no later than MGC, and probably want to get that done at least 3 or 4 days in advance. So right now we have about a week and a half to hit that deadline. I actually think I could do it tonight if I can get to it, but we'll see how that works out. So first, I'm just going to start, and we're going to go ahead and just continue working on attract mode. And I'm going to go radio silent for now, but feel free to type in chat or and/or ask questions as you see me working. I'm here. I'll be glad to answer questions. So. If you're just now joining me, what I'm doing right now is compiling the game. I'm trying to get in and just take a look at attract mode, see where I need to make changes. I know exactly what I want to do. I want to split up the 6 scenes that I have for attract mode into 2 different groups. So right now I'm just compiling attract mode and waiting for the game maker compiler to finish.
Skycurser. Mission 1.
Okay, so I just saw attract mode complete all the way through, and I see a couple things that I need to fix with attract mode. The first thing that I need to fix with attract mode is I need to make sure that when you're actually in attract mode and it says press start, that the start button will kick you over to room level 1. So right now, if you insert a coin, you'll go back to the title screen, but I need to make sure that if they actually push start, that it'll just kick them straight to level 1. So I'm going to take a look at that right now. Okay, so right now I see some code that is sitting in the controller for the room menu, which in our case the room menu is actually the room title screen, so the title screen for the game. So I see this code right here. It looks like it is exactly what performs the function to take it to room level 1. To clean this up and to be able to call this from somewhere else, I'm going to go ahead and drop this in a script, and I'm going to put it under room controls. Okay, script, press start. Just going to take this code right here, replace it with script, press start. And get that code rolling. Okay, gonna remove this code that I haven't used. Okay, now I should be able to reuse this inside of the video object, the video player object. So that's what I'm headed towards to do. Here it is on step. Go ahead and send this to script press start. Um, so the problem with me just running script press start is, yeah, it takes the player straight over to room level 1, but it doesn't kill the video if the video is playing. So I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to do this. I may have to do some looking back and forth between what's happening in the controller and what's happening here. Okay, I'm also going to take this code right here out of the room menu controller and create it as a script as well. So this will be script insert coin. Okay, let's go create that. Okay, now all that does is increment the credits counter wherever I'm at. Let me make sure I'm not duplicating that in the controller persistent, which I feel like I am right now. Here it is. Yep. That should literally be the exact same code, minus the room get name does not equal room menu. I think the reason for this is, the reason why I'm doing that check is to make sure that I don't run this twice. Since this is a persistent controller, this controller slash object is staying in every room as Skycurser progresses through each room or the player progresses through each room. So this will also be present in the menu slash title screen room. And the goal here is to make sure it doesn't run twice if it's in the room menu. Because I think this code is identical to what I have in script insert coin. I'm going to break these up so I can look at them both at the same time. Okay. I don't like the way this is right now, because if at any point the keys are disabled and the player inserts a coin, then the credit won't count, and I don't want that to occur, so I'm okay with removing this. So, and then I'm also just going to go ahead and remove the script insert coin from the room menu, because if the controller persistent exists inside of the room menu, then it will take care of any time a coin is inserted. So I'm just going to go look at the rooms really quick to make sure controller persistent is in one of these rooms. Okay, so controller room menu, controller background menu. Did it exist in room boot? Room boot does not include it. Does it exist in room level 1? Enemy generator, controller cloud, controller background. Now, just because I don't see it in these rooms doesn't mean that the room doesn't generate it itself. So what I need to do is go to room menu and see if, not room menu, I'm sorry, object controller room menu, to see if this creates the controller persistent. Nope, not there. Let me see if it's here. I don't think it is. Not there. Level 1, create. Controller persistent, doesn't exist. Object boot calls a script. Let me see the script reset game. Don't see it there. Okay, let's do a search. Object controller persistent. I gotta figure out where this was created at. I must have spelled it wrong because it's not showing up anywhere. Let me see. Object controller persistent. Looks like it's spelled correctly to me. I will verify this by copying. Okay, script, search again. Paste. Looks the exact same. Oh, it might get created in Blast City Studio Room. Let's see if it's there. There it is. So the game boots, then it goes to Blast City Studio Room, then it goes to Title Room, which is also the same as Menu. And because that controller is marked as persistent, that object rather, it carries through to each room from that point forward. So it exists right there, which means it also exists on the title screen / menu screen. So that's where we needed to make sure that it existed so that I can take it out of the menu screen because the persistent controller is already in there. So let's verify here. The step has it removed. Insert coin does not need to exist. Let me just look at that one more time, because that should have been highlighted correctly. Yep, okay, script, insert coin, remove. Okay, that should always function the way we want it to. Now, let's go back to the video player, because I want to go back there and check something really quick. Object video player, it's in the step. So we're doing this whole deal, but we're also doing a video stop and a credit inserted equals true. The problem with the way we have it right now is it doesn't always handle, like if we replace what we have now with the script that I just created, it doesn't always handle, it won't handle this particular section right here where I'm trying to stop the video and insert a credit. So the question is, do I go over to the script, check what room it's in, and then put the code there that the extra code that I have here, so that it'll only run as necessary, or do I leave it here in this way and have some unconsolidated code? I think what I should do is have the script itself call another script if it is in a specific room. And I think that's probably the best way to handle this scenario. So we'll do that right here. If room get name is equal to room, I'm going to call this attract. I'm going to go ahead and change this across the board. Attract mode. Room video just now got changed to room room attract mode, which is actually what it is. Room video is now room attract mode. Got it. Gonna put that up here next to menu. I'd like to change this to title screen. Menu's fine. I'll leave it at menu. Let me search for room video to make sure I didn't leave that in any scripts that I need to change it in. So it is. It's in the controller persistent, which I just modified. Let's go look at it. Room video. It's not in here. Tell me where that is again. It's in draw and step. And I'm in create. Thought I was in create, but let's see. Room video, room video. Start at the top. Room video. Just not finding it. Close out of everything that I have open really quick because it may be working off of a cached instance of that particular object. Try this search again. Room video. Okay. Draw. I wish this was larger. Okay. Don't know why it wasn't showing up. Room attract mode. Okay, that's fine with me. And then draw. I know it's in here. Room. Why does it not show up? I know it's in here. Just doing a little code cleanup while I'm in here. Room video, room video. Don't see it. Run the script again, see exactly where it's saying it's coming from. Click on this. Right there. Room attract mode. That is now correct. Alright. Okay, some code cleanup here. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone for now. We're in a good spot with that. The insert coin should work on the room menu. Let's verify that. Oops, didn't mean to be in here. Let me look at what we got left in here. So I'm going to take this guy out. I'm going to clean up code here real quick. Okay, that's in a good spot. Update. Okay. Alright, let's see. We were in the process of making sure room menu and object video player have the data that they need. I was also in the process of creating a new script which was going to be called from insert coin if it was a specific room, and it was going to be to run some clearing of some variables, video stop, and I think the other one is in the video player real quick that I can check. So these two right here, I'm going to run them outside. I'm going to call script insert coin from here. Okay, and in script insert coin, we're taking care of that extra functionality that needs to happen by making basically an exception for this room if this condition is met. Then run these. This should exist if I'm in that room, so I'm going to leave this alone, see if this works as expected. We'll see about that in a little bit. Code cleanup. I'm going to do the same thing for press start. I'm actually going to call a script right here and replace that code right there. Script video leaving the video room. Room attract mode leave. And create those two here because I'm probably going to reuse them again for the press start functionality in the script. So I'll take these guys out, save. Okay, now this guy is in its own, and I can run the same thing from here. Let me just look and see what I got here. Press start. And if the room go-to exists, I want to run the script room attract mode leave. Okay, save. Okay. I'm going to run and see what I got right now. Let me check the start real quick because I don't think I have in there what I need. If room get name is equal to room attract mode, then run this code only then. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Go ahead and compile, see what comes up. forgot to add the variable room in. Room is a reserve variable for GameMaker, so you got to get the name of the current room. What is the name of the current room? And try again. Right now we're just making sure everything works as expected with the minor changes that we made.
Skycurser. Skycurser.
That did not work as expected. I'm going to keep testing here for a second. Okay, I just copied the bug. I'm going to go take a look at it really quick and try to address this. Okay, the error is in the persistent controller. I think it had a problem when I ran video stop. So apparently, if I'm not in the video controller, it doesn't like the fact that I called this. Let me go back here real quick um, into the attract mode or the video player. Not change anything there. Hmm. Okay, I think I need to run this before I go to the room. I think that's where I had a problem at. Let's try this again. Okay, call stack was script insert coin called from line 38 of the persistent controller. Look at that real quick. Oh, I know what the problem is. I know because the controller is persistent, the insert coin and the press start are unnecessary in attract mode room. So I should just be able to remove those and everything should be taken care of just fine. Because insert coin and press start are both already taken care of in controller persistent. Let me just verify that and make sure I didn't remove them from here. Script insert coin. Right now I don't have what happens in the persistent controller if you're hitting start and you have coins. So let me look at this because I know I've got something in here related to that. Game start, continue occurs. So I'm fine with the way that's written right there. And I think I'm okay with having the menu room run script press start by itself as opposed to having object controller persistent running script press start. But I definitely need to take out the insert coin and press start from here because they already exist properly over in the menu and the persistent controller. However, because I don't have press start in the attract mode room, and I think I want it there, but I don't want it to be persistent inside of the game, I will go ahead and put it back into the what's currently called object video player. I did notice something though. There's a problem with this script. Instead of actually starting and going to level 1, it's only going to the menu, and I have a problem with that. It should be going straight to level 1 if there are coins in and the player's pressing start. If Skycurser doesn't exist, why would global.startOver be false? It must be if timer runs out, global.startOver is probably set to true. Sound menu select. Room go to level 1. Script room attract mode leave. Let's look at that one more time. It's a very simple script. 2 lines. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Credit inserted may be causing us to have a hiccup here. That might be why it's going back to the menu and not to level 1. So let's go look at that. What happens in room attract mode, which right now is video player, if inserted is greater than 1. Here it is. This is the problem. So credit inserted is equal to true is hitting this before press start is completing. So because this entire step has to get run, so we don't want credit inserted to equal true if the player pressed start. So I think we have to break that out again. Because right now I'm calling this in both rooms, and it's setting credit inserted equal to true, and then that's why it's leaving and going to menu. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, thanks, Vera the Pichu. A wild Pichu appears. Yo, this looks so cool. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. We've been working on this project for about a year, and we are just getting to the point where we're getting ready to do some major. So, if you haven't been able to follow along up to this point, Vera the Pichu, basically we are creating this for arcade first. And as time allows, we will export this to other platforms as it makes sense. But so we've been working on this arcade project for about a year, and we're in a good place, and we've basically got most of the engine in place to continue moving forward with multiple levels. We've completed one level that looks really solid up to this point. And now it should be fairly easy, considering we have a pretty good understanding of how to get things all to work nicely together to get about the next 4 levels complete. So we expect our expected completion date is February 2016. Okay, so I've got to get the video to stop, but also not run credit inserted equal to true. So I'm going to insert another script here. Will there be a Skycurser 2? There could be. If Skycurser 1 is that good, there could be a Skycurser 2. But that all depends on how 1 goes. We gotta finish 1 first. So, yeah, we'd love to do that. That'd be good. Okay, so where was I? I was creating a script. And here's the script. It's going to be called script room attract mode coin inserted. Unfortunately, this is a 1-line call, but in the interest of trying to keep my code separate and breaking it out where necessary, I think I have to do this for now. I may rethink that a little bit in the future, but now I can call from here script room attract mode coin inserted, and now this should correctly separate out the 2 functions, so that when I'm in attract mode and I hit start, it should take me to room level 1. Versus inserting a coin should correctly take me to the menu. So let's test this. Okay, here we go. Gonna compile. Here we go.
Skycurser.
Okay, so I did notice a bug, and for now the bug was that the video didn't stop as we had hoped it would. So let's go take a look at that script real quick. If room get name room is equal to room attract mode, then run script room attract mode leave. So anything that's related to that in particular, and I think video stop is correct. But video stop did not occur before it moved to room level 1. I think what I can do is just in room level 1 have a check to see. Let's see. Have a check to see if a video is still playing. And if it is still playing, kill it. Hmm. The problem is the video player is not persistent. So if I try to do a check, well, I've got an idea actually. Room attract mode should be where the player is taken to. If this is true, which it is. I do have a press start script occurring in this room, which should be very basic. I should also have that script playing inside of this particular room. Let's verify that. Script press start, yep. I'm going to go ahead and rename this right now because this is getting a little confusing as I'm trying to think through this. So this is going to be rename. Not sure why it's not letting me rename it. I may not be able to rename it if I'm working on it. I don't know if that's what it is or not, but I'm not getting any feedback. Let's try this again. Rename. Okay, I'm going to restart GameMaker. It's not responding to me, so yes, restart. Okay, still waiting for GameMaker to restart. Okay, here we go. At least it got to level 1 out of 3. Is that what that's saying? Level 1 out of 3? Yeah, it did. At least it did move to level one. When I wanted it to, I pushed start and it should have gone to level one. The problem is when it went to level one, the video was still playing and it should have stopped. I'm not exactly sure why it didn't, considering I was still in the same room when I pushed it. And it should have ran that script in the same room, which should have allowed it to run video stop before it moved to room level one. So I'm trying to troubleshoot that at the moment. But before I do that, I'm trying to rename this guy, which now all of a sudden I can. Object controller room attract mode is actually what this is a controller for. I'm using it that way anyways. So I'm going to put this up here with the room attract mode, and I've got to make sure object video player doesn't exist anymore. So I'm going to make sure object video player is converted correctly, and it may be because I think it in room menu. Oops. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to look at the feedback here. Okay, background menu, room menu. Go to room menu. Where is the video player called in at? I was surprised just now when I didn't see that. Let's go look again. Room attract mode. Maybe it's automatically in room attract mode. Yeah, and it correctly, GameMaker correctly converted the variable in the room. So as I renamed it, that's the main thing I wanted to make sure. And we're good there. But back to this guy. He's running script, press start. The script press start should run. Script press start. Wrong place. Room controls. What are the extensions about? Which extensions are you talking about specifically? Let me scroll down here. I think you mean the video extensions. So the extensions, that is a okay. So since this is a an arcade game, basically, I'm also trying to make sure that the arcade game has a tracked mode, also known as sometimes display mode or demo mode, built into it. And there are two ways to go about doing that. One way is to have some video of your gameplay and kind of put it in a room and let the room control the video, or create a keylogger and let the keylogger record all keystrokes and basically simulate a game in a tracked mode room. The problem with that is I haven't seen anybody in GameMaker say that they've already created a keylogger. I could probably create a keylogger, but I'm concerned about the amount of time that it would take. And I'm running on a deadline since we're going to MGC, the Midwest Gaming Classic. We have a deadline, and one of the key things that we wanted in here before the deadline was a tracked mode. So I did a little bit of searching. I found this particular extension. It's called, what is it? It says video player here, but I'm trying to see exactly if they say who created it. I'm going to go look for it real quick so I can tell you exactly what the extension is. It's called Video Player by Lone Wolf Games, and they did a really good job with this. So I'll paste this in chat real quick. That's the one that I have right there. It was only $10. Allows me to basically play AVI files at any time. I would like it if they would allow us to play MP4 or WAV files. I think MP4s are way smaller than AVIs. So it would be awesome if I could play an MP4. I don't know how much work it would take them to do that. I just haven't gotten a chance to reach out to them yet. If it could play an MP4, it would save a lot of compile time and a lot of basically storage or file space for the executable that's created once I export the game. So yeah, that's what it is. It's an extension. It's a video player extension by Lone Wolf Games. I pasted the link there, um, and basically, if you use it correctly, it will allow you to play a video file at any point in time in your game, and gives you all the controls you need to control the video. Um, and specifically, I use Camtasia. Um, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's like Camtasia Studio 8 to do the screen capture of the video gameplay, and then I'm able to export AVI files from there. And once you have the AVI files, you include them in the included files section, and then from there you can load in your video files in this way. So video init, I basically pointed to the files with these variables right here, and then I am pulling off the first video and loading it, and basically when the video is done, I check the status of the video. If the play status is equal to 0, then stop the video, make sure that's basically just making sure it's stopped. Switch the current video with a new current video. So depending on which video is currently playing, if it's video 1, then it'll start playing video 2, and then I call load the video and play the video. So basically I loop through 6 different videos in attract mode. What I'm going to try to do is break them out into 2 groups, so that it'll do basically 3 short clips and then go back to title screen, and then 3 other short clips and go back to title screen, and it'll just keep rotating back and forth between those. That way it's not in attract mode too long, and it just kind of grabs people's attention as they walk by, and and it's not super quick to show the exact same thing. But yeah, that's attract mode. I'm sure you've seen it in a lot of video games. A lot of video games do that. They'll just start playing automatically. A lot of that is either recorded or is basically keylogged and then played back. So I hope that answers your question. So back to script, press start. I'm just keep reviewing this because I feel like it should be working correctly. Script room attract mode leave, which actually just calls video stop. And it should be calling it right before it goes to room level 1. I think the other thing I can do is just check to see if the key was pressed in that step, and if it was pressed, then go ahead and kill the video. And I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll kill it before it's run if it is pressed. It's kind of overkill, but I shouldn't have to do this, but it doesn't seem to be behaving the way I expect it to behave. So I'm going to implement a little bit of an overkill here. And since it's only in that one place, script attract mode leave, room attract mode leave, I'm not going to rewrite video stop. I'll just write script room attract mode leave, because I'm basically controlling it to leave the room. I'll just leave video stop here because it makes sense in context. It wouldn't make sense in context if I said script room attract mode leave where video stop is written. Plus, this leaves it open for me to do more than just video stop when I'm leaving this room. So normally I wouldn't create a script for one line, but since I thought I was going to have more lines in that script, I created it. I ended up breaking that script out into 2 lines, but you know, I'll have it there in case I need to go back and affect it in the future. Okay, so I'm going to go back in and test this one more time, make sure it's doing what I think it should be doing, which is killing the video before it goes to room level 1.
Skycurser.
Okay, so still not quite where I wanted it to be. I did notice that um, the video ended up dropping out, but it took it a minute for it to drop out. I'm wondering if I can kill the audio on the video as well. If when I start level 1 I can just run audio stop all. I'll see if I can do that, if I'm not already doing it. Yep, let's try this. I don't know if this will kill the sound of the video, but I'm going to try it. Audio stop all the second it reaches room level 1 on create. I'm going to try it again. Hit play. This time before I hit start and try to go to level 1, I'll try to hit the credit button to make sure it jumps back to the menu. Then I'll let it go back to attract mode and then make sure it goes over to room level 1 as soon as I hit start. So at the moment I'm letting it compile. Here we go.
Skycurser.
Still has that bug jumping out of attract mode when going back to the menu. Man. Okay, so I gotta fix that immediately. Okay. Same bug, goes through insert coin, tries to run script attract mode leave, and then has a problem running video stop before it switches to the to the new room. So it's basically the same problem I'm having when moving from attract mode to level 1, but it's erroring out when it's going back to the menu. So in attract mode, basically what's controlling insert coin at that point is the object controller persistent, and that runs script insert coin right here. Let's go look at script insert coin. Play sound, credits plus equals 1. Doesn't like when I run script room attract mode leave, and then because it can't stop the video for whatever reason, it doesn't think it can stop the video. Okay, I'm going to do basically the same thing I did with start button and stopping the video. I'm going to stop the video when I press the insert coin button as well inside of the controller. So do the same thing here, which is and keyboard check released global dot insert coin, kill the video, and then inside of here I'll say if keyboard check released. Do the same check, but this time it is, I say and here, this needs to be an or. Hey encrypted cow, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick on the headset. It's like it's picking up the color from the purple border. Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. Thanks for pointing that out. With the purple, yeah. The problem was it was trying to use the chroma key, and since I don't have my green screen up, there's no point in using the chroma key. So, all right, global dot insert coin. Yeah, I did have it on. Yep, I had the chroma key turned on, and you know, you've been in here before. I know you've seen me using the green screen. So, script room. Let me see, do I need to run this right here? I'm going to see if I don't need to run this right here. See if it'll just run this right here. That means I can go to insert coin script and take it out of here and let it go ahead and run this guy, which will basically increment or which will basically set the Boolean credit inserted to true. And let's see if this errors out. Cubicle, is that a new game, an indie dev game, or just a new game in general? Alright, going back in game here.
Skycurser.
Okay. It's a voxel model editor. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I'm going to look it up real quick. Voxel model editor. Just got a 404 on the cubicle homepage. Oh, cool. It's like a 3D pixel art creator. Ha! Nice. Sweet, dude. Yep. That's really cool. Um, so I noticed one other thing that happened just now. When I hit the insert coin button, it didn't register as expected. Um, I think the video stopped playing. Goku, I think that's how you say your name. Goku 000. Thanks for the follow, man. Really appreciate it. Um, so when it hit this point in time, the video stopped and it started playing a new video, which was a problem, especially when it got down here to um, if the credit inserted, because for whatever reason, credit inserted was not actually occurring. So it seems like when I call a script, it's basically like when a script calls a script inside of an object, it has no reference to the parent object unless that's passed in, which is I think what I need to do. Now I can't do anything with video stop. I think video stop is occurring. I'm gonna find out here on the insert coin, but whenever I get to this, the coin inserted, it needs to actually have the parent object, which I'm going to do right now. Let's see. I think I can just go ahead and pass the object in right here because this is only ever going to run if I'm in attract mode. So I can pass in the controller, object controller, room, attract mode. And from there, I can just say, let's just say .id. So that will pass the specific ID in, and then once I get here, I should be able to say argument 0 dot credit inserted because I passed the first argument in, the only argument, and that's argument 0. If you're familiar with GameMaker, they allow you to pass in, I think, up to 15 variables. Some of those variables can be arrays, so you can pass, theoretically infinite number of variables in, but if you're just trying to pass one parameter in, it starts at a 0 index, and that's argument 0. Oh yeah, no problem, encrypted cow. Just want to make sure that I'm paying attention to who's following, and after the end of every stream, I try to go back and make sure I follow back. I think it's kind of important to make sure that's reciprocated. All right. Let's try that, see if that doesn't break. I passed in the object. Specifically, I passed in the object ID. And that should allow me to grab that argument on the other side, and then it should recognize credit inserted and jump back to the title screen when I simulate inserting a coin. So here we go. I'm going to go in for a test.
Skycurser.
Boom. Worked like a charm. Okay, I'm going to do the
Skycurser.
same thing with press start and see what happens. Okay. The thing that I find weird between these two is that, so I got that working. Pull up the monitor here. I got that working so that it would jump back correctly to the title screen, but why is it not killing the video when I go from attract mode room to room level 1? It should be killing the video. I think what I'm going to have to do right here is just run video stop right here and remove it from those other two sections. That should just take care of it altogether. I mean, right now, since this is a one-liner, it doesn't make sense to keep this. I'm going to go ahead and delete, go ahead and delete that script, and then make sure that that particular script is removed from the other script that we put it into, which is press start. So we were calling script room attract mode leave here, which I thought for sure would work. Apparently video stop can't be recognized. I'm wondering if I could pass in the object and then call the method video stop. I don't think I could. I was thinking it would be nice if I could basically have this script declared inside of this object, but that's not quite how GameMaker scripts work. GameMaker scripts are separate from the objects. So yeah, you can find some portability out of the scripts or methods, but the problem is a method then doesn't get assigned to an object. So I can't then come back later and say object controller room attract mode dot video stop and expect that video to stop. I think what I'm seeing is that I'm just going to have to run it straight from here, which I'm fine with. This will be fine. This will do exactly what we need it to do. So let's try this one more time, and we should have it working across the board now. Everything should be working as expected, and then the last thing I'm going to do with attract mode, again, break them up into two different groups and let attract mode toggle back and forth between the groups.
Skycurser. Skycurser.
Wow, it still did not run video stop as expected. That's disappointing. Okay. I basically need the video to stop immediately when switching between rooms. So I'm working on that at the moment. If game start is pressed or insert coin is pressed, then videos stop. I could potentially Pixelated Pope, thanks for the follow. I could potentially um, just say that if I'm on a specific, if I basically set the current video to something that's not video 1 through video 6, then for it to kill the video right there and not try to call another video. I need to check and see which video is playing, because basically I think the shotgun occurred. I'm hearing the shotgun occur right when I switch to room level 1, and I don't know if that's on video 1 or the next video that plays. So I need to figure that out really quick. So let's go test that. So waiting for the compile. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it just play through the videos so I can figure out which video is doing shotgun mode.
Skycurser.
Okay, so that was a little bit confusing, because what I noticed there was right at the end of video 1 I start using the shotgun for when I was recording, and then the next video that plays also has the shotgun right at the beginning. So I'm going to guess that when the video is stopping, that it thinks it needs to play the next video, and so it's just calling to that next video. And so what we're hearing is, I think what's happening is it's saying video stop, and then it's coming down and saying, oh, the current video that's being played is video 1, go to video 2, call video 2, and then when it gets to the very bottom, for whatever reason, it's not running video stop like I think it should be, and switching over to the correct room. I don't know that it's actually hitting video stop correctly at the bottom. But what I think I'll do is just set a variable in the create section, in the create event, to know if I should continue playing video. So continue playing equals false. Alright, let's set it to true, sorry. Continue playing, so it's true by default. And in the step, I will say continue playing equals false if this occurs, if either one of these conditions occurs. And then when I get down here, I'll say if continue playing. So by default, it will continue playing unless it has recognized that it needs to stop because I've pushed start or insert coin. Let me see. Okay, so if credit inserted never hit correctly here, which it wouldn't if I pushed the start button, then video stop would never run. And I think it was missing this altogether because I'm pushing start and not insert coin, which controls this variable right here, credit inserted. So I think I've got it right here. Continue playing equals false. It'll come down here. It'll say, do I need to continue playing? If yes, then play the next video. And then when it was, the reason why it would stop on its own is because it was out of the room and it wasn't running this step event anymore. So it wouldn't play the next video in line because it was completely out of that room. And because I'm using this object as a controller to a room. Okay, let's try this again. Just going to clean up here, just close a couple of windows. And try this again. It's getting late, getting tired. Alright, here we go. Gonna let it run through. Gonna activate insert.
Skycurser.
Should jump back to the menu. And it does. We're gonna do the same thing with start.
Skycurser.
Should jump to level 1 and should kill the video.
Mission 1.
Yes.
Death at
Success.
dusk. Go.
Thanks, Pixelated Pope. Yeah, I'm the dev, the lead dev on this project. There's basically 3 of us working on this project. One guy is the art director. He's the one that conceptualizes a lot of these enemies and bosses. So he will go pixel for pixel on Photoshop, basically, and draw these up and then make the assets available to me. And we talk through how they should work. And sometimes hand the game back and forth a couple times to get some play time in to see how we like how they're interacting with each other, and then sometimes modify how the enemies interact with each other, just kind of depending on the feel overall. So thanks for the compliment though. So good, we're in good shape. Got that working. I wanted to do one more thing here, which was in the object controller persistent, I want to set a video group. Global.video group equals 1. Save. Hit OK. Basically, you're going to be 2 video groups. And in attract mode, I'm going to change the video group after one video group is complete. So I'll do that here in the step event. When it finishes playing, so it plays 1, then it hits this and changes it to 2, hits this, changes it to 3, hits this, changes it to 4. I don't want it to hit video 4 yet, because when it hits video 6, basically it restarts over to 1. So what I want it to do is after it hits video 3, I want it to also set the global.video group. I'll go back and change the variable name. Attract mode group to 2, and then say global.attract mode group equals 1. And remove this guy altogether if case is video 6, because case video 6 would then set the current video equal to 1, which basically would start the loop all the way over. I don't want to do that. I guess what I can do instead is case video 6, I'll leave it in there, but instead of setting the current video, I'll basically send it back. I'll say continue playing equals false. Yeah, see that? See how that variable comes back into play? And I could say credit inserted equals true. I may change that variable altogether just so I can reuse it. for this section right here, because this basically sends it back to the menu just like I need it to. So maybe I change this variable name. And instead of credit inserted, I change it to room complete, room attract mode complete is equal to true. Room attract mode complete. I got to update that variable in the create event, which is credit inserted here. Room attract mode complete equals false, and I have to update it in the script that I just touched earlier. So now it becomes room attract mode complete. Okay, so we've got that updated in the correct locations. Oh, how long have we been game making? We have we haven't been game making too long, I guess, in terms of overall video game developers. We have been working on this game for a little over a year. I'm gonna have to go back and do the exact math and figure out exactly when we started, but we've been working on this game for a little over a year, and this is our first project. We are building this game specifically for the arcade, and then it will be released eventually on smartphones and other platforms as well. But this is kind of our, we want to make a big contribution to the arcade, and you can read a little bit about that in the information below the stream. But yeah, we're really excited about this, and we're video game junkies, so we like to get a good feel for how video games should play. We've played through a lot of arcade games. Since this is a shmup and it's an arcade game, this should kind of go hand in hand. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, it's I can't tell you how much having somebody who's fairly decent and patient enough with themselves to work on the artwork actually just adds to the overall look and feel of the game. It's really important to have a good looking, clean, polished touch on the game, and I think having the patience to do it is one thing, but then also having somebody who can code it, code up what you've created via artwork is also very important as well. So thank you. Let's see. So I just touched that variable so that it would say whether or not attract mode was complete. Let me go back and look at that one more time before I get out of here. Continue playing is equal to false. Room attract mode is equal to true. Aha! I do need to make one or two more updates right here. We do want, if it's video 3, we want video 3 to play. But we also need to make sure that we stop after video 3. So I think I can do the same thing right here if case is video 3. Continue playing equals false. Room attract mode complete equals true. Current video equals video 3. Global.attract mode group equals 2. Yep, set that. And it should start on 4 depending on the global.attract mode group. So let's go over to the create event, and instead of current video equal to 1 all the time, global.attract mode group is equal to 1. Let's just say if else video 4. So Choose video 1 or video 4 depending on what the attract mode group is. This should only ever else be 2. The attract mode group should only ever else be group 2. Current video 4. Let's go back to the step event, make sure that looks right before we run it. So if it's video 4, then set it to 5. If it's 5, set it to 6. If it's 6, then stop playing. If it's 1, set it to 2. If it's 2, set it to 3. And if it's 3, stop playing. I think these would be better served if we set them right here instead of setting them in that group, that case. Let's set them in the case where we're actually doing the stopping and resetting. I think that's probably the best way to handle it. Okay, let's try it. Now, what I'm expecting to happen, I'm getting ready to hit play so it'll compile, but I don't always have the time to talk before I finishes compiling, so I'm going to talk first. What I expected to do is play through 3 clips the very first time. And I'm going to let it play all the way through those 3 clips. When it's finished playing through those 3 clips, it should then go back to the menu/title screen. When it's finished with the menu/title screen, it goes back into attract mode. It should pick up with 3 separate clips. And I'm going to let it play all the way through once so I can make sure that it starts again where I expect it to start on clip 1. I wanted to check one more thing at the bottom of that step event. Make sure I had it set up correctly. If room attract mode complete in all those places. Yep, and I think I set it correctly on that script. Yep, argument 0, which I'm fine with. Okay, let's try this again. I'm waiting for it to compile.
Skycurser.
Oh no, we had an error. Alright, let's see what the error is. Attract mode group. There's a problem with it in the create event room attract mode. Alright, let's go look at that real quick. Had a problem with attract mode group. Global.attract mode group. I gotta make sure that is correct on every location that it exists. Attract mode group, save. And then it should also be created in controller persistent. Get out of here. Out of here. Controller persistent. Ah! I forgot to change it back here in global, in the object controller persistent. Alright, that should fix it. Back in. Okay, going through the compile process. Almost complete.
Skycurser.
So that's one clip. This is second clip, third clip. Should go back to make the title screen after this. And it does. Now it should start on a new group. And it does. The fourth clip. The fifth clip. Thank you, Vaglines. Really appreciate it. I know our art director, Chris, loves to hear that stuff, so I always tell him about that. So thanks a lot, man. He's put a lot of time into it. All right, so I love it, love it, love it, love it. I think it's working exactly the way I need it to. The one thing I didn't check there, I guess, I let it go all the way to the sixth clip and didn't let it loop back around to one, but I'm not going to test that right now. I'll test that when I go back in just a moment. I did see a bug that I want to fix. Specifically, I saw it on the Necro Star chunk whenever Skycurser was swiping at the Necro Star chunk. And so let me see if I can go address that really quick. That should be a quick bug to fix. Okay, object. I'm going to do one more thing with these scripts right here. They are getting in my way quite a bit. Video helpers. Let's just say video group of scripts. Here we go. If you're familiar with GameMaker, you know I can't just shift click everything and drag it and drop it down in here. Have to drag one at a time. A little bit annoying, but nothing I can't work around. Alright, so that should be out of my way unless I need it to be in my way. Alright. Back to Skycurser, Katana. I'm looking at the Katana, looking at the step event, and I'm looking specifically for, looks like I passed this into script weapon attack, so I need to go there to modify this. I've basically commented out all my code that was in the step event here and just put it in script weapon attack. So that's under Skycurser, weapons, script weapon attack, and I need to look what happens when it hits the Necro Star chunk, because the basically the little swipe animation is occurring right on top of Skycurser, and it should be occurring wherever the contact is made with the Necro Star chunk. Okay. Unfortunately, in the future, I think I'm going to have to go and re-record that clip just so it looks better, because right now it's a recorded clip and there's not a lot I can do to change it. But I can update the bug right here. So we're doing a bullet impact with the katana blade, and I've got to check that is occurring. Script object type, if it is this, I pass 3 different objects into this. Katana, object enemy 1 attack, and I think this one right here is EB. Oh, this is the this is the EBP missile, and this is Gaki's, one of Gaki's orbs. Orb shot by Gaki. Okay. Put your cursor on a script. The overall polish is super impressive. I know how much work all that stuff takes. Thank you. Put your cursor on a script and middle mouse click or F12 to open it, by the way. My middle mouse click is not working. My keyboard and my mouse are a little bit different. I've got some keys mapped to different places, same with my mouse. So I don't think my mouse is the exact same. Is not set up to let me control with the middle mouse click by default. I've got one of the Razer mouses and actually keyboards. Let's see. Aha, love it. Love it. I see. It works. So there you go. Good little tip there. Thanks for the tip. Appreciate it. Very helpful. Okay, so basically though I have this script that I created that will check to see what is the object that's coming through here. And the script object type, hey, we're going to use that little trick we just figured out, is basically just checking what the object index is that is being passed in. And so I'm also passing an argument in, so I'm passing the argument 0.objectIndex, which is whatever is calling the script, plus a specific name that I'm giving the script. And if these match up, then I know I've got that particular object. So I'm basically passing, if this is the katana, I'm passing that in and seeing if that matches that. If this is the EBP missile, I'm passing that in and seeing if that matches that, and so on and so forth. So what I need to do right here is check and see if the katana connects with the Necrostar chunk. And if it does, I want the bullet impact to occur, but I need it to occur in a specific location, not at argument 0.x and y, because basically, let me go show my sprite for the katana. Here's the katana sprite. Here's the entire sprite, but you see the XY position is right in the center of the sprite, which is basically right where Skycurser is, the Skycurser jet. So what's happening right now is that the impact is occurring right in the center there, when it should be occurring right out where the actual impact is occurring with whatever enemy it's contacting. I noticed the bug on the Necrostar chunk, so that's what we're trying to fix right now. This should be really simple. Instead of this guy, I'm going to go ahead and let that code stay there, but I'm going to do an else and let it only stay there if it's not a katana. And I will, in this case, use the Necrostar X. The Necrostar X, Necrostar Y, but I still got to make sure this is correct. I'm going to use the Y will be the same, and then the Necrostar 1, let me see where that is. Should be under enemy Necrostar 1, and this is 100 pixels wide, so at any one time should just basically about 25 pixels, because my X origin is at 50, subtract off of that about 25, and that should be about right for an object impact. The Y will occur wherever the Y, the sprite, the bullet impact will actually occur right wherever the Y position is, but I want to make sure it's on the leading edge of the Necrostar chunk. So it'll occur down here if this is where the swipe happens, it'll occur up here if this is where the swipe happens, but it'll occur on the leading edge. And I think instead of 25, I'm just going to do like 23, because that should be about accurate most of the time. So let's try that. I did not mean to play. I'm going to have to back out of there as soon as I get in there. Okay. And this will be minus 23. I think that'll do it. I'm going to do 22 to play it a little safe. I don't want it to ghost out in front of the Necrostar chunk, especially if he hits it high where it doesn't quite go back as far as 25 pixels, so I think 22 should cover it. X minus 22, and then Y position. I think we're in a good spot there. I'm not going to go test that right now because I have a high confidence in that. Okay, so knocked that out. Feel good about attract mode. I just got the special from Chris. Let me see what time it is. Ooh, 1:15. I think what I'll do is maybe spend about 5 to 10 minutes max trying to clean up some code here, and I think I'll save the special attack for tomorrow night because I think that's basically like starting an entire new task, and I'm not entirely sure how long it'll take. I like to usually work until I get something done. So if you have a question to ask, I know you guys have been asking as we go along here. If you have a question to ask, now's a good time while I'm trying to clean up some code. Otherwise, no worries. Just going to do this and then going to go through my final process. Usually I like to just make sure everything is cleaned up, which basically means I've saved everything. Everything seems to be in a good working state. I then go, I basically control my source code with Git, G-I-T, and I try to use Git best practices, which means and I've followed that. I think I've posted that best practice. Let me see if I've posted that down below the stream. I haven't posted that, but I do use Git best practices, and I can post that in the stream after chat. I'll basically post it in the info section below the stream, specifically under the tools, because that is we try to follow Git best practices so that whenever we bring new developers on at some point in the future, or as we're trying to maintain the code, we just kind of have an idea of where we're going and what we've done with it. So as far as code to clean up, I'm just taking a look here. The other day I made a big discovery in terms of object inheritance, and that was related directly to, I think I was working with the shrapnel pieces. It was shrapnel. I remember. I did do some object inheritance with the shrapnel pieces, but I worked on creating an object base enemy, and I have a script object base enemy init. So that's basically initialization or a constructor for this object. I'll show that to you real quick. Base enemy is here. Script object base enemy.